Okay, welcome back. Let's talk now about that's kind of the short term, really. Let's talk a bit more about the long term and kind of modern day antiques, vintage retro stuff. Not, as we all know, like not all vintage is created equal, and that's the rub. You can't just keep everything thinking it will all go up in value if that's what you wanted to do to invest in. If you've been watching Curiosity Incorporated and the guy that I've only just started watching him, and he's just taking on a second hoarder's house. Now, the hoarder's house that he did take on, the lady that owned it was a musician and she had some money, but she also had very good taste. So she did have things that were quality to start with, and she had fur coats, she had amazing jewellery, a grand piano. She had some quality stuff, but there's also going to be stuff there that, because she hoarded it so long, is just desirable because it's fashionable again. People want it. And a lot of the stuff, the clothes, I think he had people just coming in and clearing out that. And, the kind of, well, I'm saying retro, but I think it was all pretty much vintage. But that's the thing. That lady she became a hoarder. And there's reasons why people become hoarders. And I think she was similar. She had a bereavement. And that led to somebody that she was close to, and it led to her hoarding. So the trick is, if you do want to invest in stuff for the long term, is unless you want to become a hoarder or you've got acres of space that you can fill up and you can store it properly, because I think some of the stuff the mice have got into, and just, can you imagine if you were like, I am going to store this for the future, and then the mice got in and just nibbled it all away. You need to either, it's a gamble. You need to either predict it correctly or have oodles of space. So again, please do comment below. I know that lots of people look back on stuff and say, oh, if only I'd known, older people, oh, if I'd kept all my dinky toys, and if I'd kept the boxes, and is there stuff even now from your childhood that you wished you'd kept hold of? I think now it used to be like dinky toys and stuff, but now people are probably looking back going, oh God, I wish I'd kept my Star Wars figures, and I wish I'd kept my band t-shirts. They're all worth a lot of money right now, but will they be in the future? Because that's the other thing, gauging when is the right time to trade in your investment. You could sit on something so long, and the clothing resellers will know this, that it's no longer desirable, and you've missed the boat. Which brings me on to another question. Are you stockpiling something now? And obviously you might not want to share that, DM me. But I'll be interested. I mean, there's some stuff that people are quite open about. I know that Ads likes to stockpile his sealed Star Wars, I don't know what to call them, toys. And Lee Cola Flipper, Stiletto King, is stockpiling Pokemon cards, which again is a gamble. However, if you look at the risk of it, if you're investing less money into it, I mean, I don't know, but I can't imagine Pokemon cards are that expensive. I know when Ads buys his Star Wars Lego, his Lego, he buys it in the sale. So chances are, even if it doesn't turn out to be a banging investment and doesn't go up in lots of value, that you would at least get your money back. Well, I reckon you would with a Lego, but Pokemon cards, there's got to be a bit of a risk, isn't it? What if Pokemon just totally dies a death and goes out one day and just doesn't become that retro nostalgic thing that people want to go back to, I guess it's okay if you didn't invest too much money in it. And it's a bit like what people talk about with investments and not putting all of your eggs in one basket. Um, yeah, just something to think about. Let me just have a think. Okay, so the other thing is, yeah, saying that if you've got less money tied up in it, yeah, I mean, obviously, the less money you can spend on something, the better. There is an argument for investing in quality stuff because that's more likely to retain its value or go up in value. That's true. But then obviously, it's a bigger, if you've got money to invest, that's a bigger chunk of your little pot. Uh, so, yeah, stuff that's become, and this is a thing that you don't know when it's picked up, like certain sports cards that just have that go up in value, and when they were purchased, probably the person purchasing it had no idea that it was probably cheap and didn't know that a particular card was going to suddenly be so sought after one day that they could make a packet off of it. Uh, Same with, I'm presuming the Pokemon cards are quite cheap, so it's not too risky an investment. I'm trying to predict which are the things that are going to go mad like that. So things like artwork, now, to be honest, we don't know now which artists might become more famous and desirable in the future if it happens like it did when, Picasso and Monet weren't popular. I don't think they were popular at when they were alive. They were only recognised afterwards as producing these amazing masterpieces, which are now worth whatever they're worth. And that is the trick: is predicting what will go like that. How do you do that? Um, yeah, quick pause.